I'm talking to Jim Wise, and he is a probation officer for the Municipal Court here in Boulder. And Jim and I are getting together to discuss what happens if you get a municipal ticket, so an ordinance violation for common things such as, say, trespassing or smoking or a camping ticket. And first, Jim, I'd like you to talk to us about what the normal process is if you come in on the appropriate date.
So typically, if you're out and about and you get a ticket for something like open container smoking in public, open container or smoking marijuana in public, you are going to be given a ticket with a court date. All of our court dates for those types of charges, camping, tents and nets prohibited, being in a park after hours, all of those are written for Tuesday morning at 8:30. Tuesday morning at 8:30. Every single time those tickets are written, they're written for Tuesday morning at 8:30. If you ever lose your ticket and you can't remember when you were supposed to be in court, you come into court Tuesday morning at 8:30. That's when we always have them, and we never move that day. Now, most typically what happens is you come into court on that day. They take you in the order in which you sign in. So the earlier that you sign in, the sooner that you are seen. You go before a judge who explains the rights that you have in our court, and you're given some options as to what you want to do. Do you want to plead not guilty and set that for trial? We can do that. You'll come back on another date, but we can do that. You can talk to the prosecutors to see if they are willing to, if you have mitigating circumstances or anything that you just don't like about the case, you can talk to the prosecutors to see if they can help you out with that case.
How do they reach the prosecutor?
They would ask the judge at that time, can I talk to the prosecutor about this case? And right then,
when they're called,
right then, exactly when they're called.
Okay.
You have to be advised of your rights before you can talk to them, because those attorneys don't work for you; they're working for the city. But we will take you right out of the courtroom. You'll have a chance to talk with them that same day. You won't have to come back on another day. It might be a little bit shorter of a wait to talk to them, but generally within a half an hour or so, you'll be able to talk to them. Come right back into the courtroom, and then you have a choice again. Do you want to plead not guilty and set it for trial? Or you can plead guilty if you choose. Now, a lot of people are afraid to come to court because they are afraid that since they don't have any money that they're going to be punished, or they're going to be incarcerated if they come to jail without any money. And that is 100% not the case. You come in and you might need to explain to the judge a little bit of your circumstances as to why you don't have money either that day or you don't have money for the foreseeable future. And 99 times out of 100, the vast majority of times, we are happy to convert any fine that might be assessed for camping, open container, trespassing into some amount of community service hours. Most typically, it would be 8 hours for a first offense of camping, 8 hours of community service, ranging all the way up to maybe 16 hours for open containers that you keep getting open container tickets for. So you would come back and see myself or one of my coworkers. We have two other probation officers, and we would give you some paperwork, let you know some places that you could do some community service hours at. Now, at the same time, we can also suggest venues in the community or agencies in the community that, hey, I'll tell you what, if you go and engage with this service provider, I'd be happy to get rid of your community service hours. Now, the charge that you have, the amount of community service hours that you have against you, that will determine what level of engagement that I need you to have with that service provider to get rid of your community service hours. But really our interest isn't in putting you in jail or collecting fines or fees from you. Really our interest is trying to resolve that ticket in the way that's best for this particular community. And if that means you getting involved with the service provider, then that's what we're going to do.
Excellent. And then we talked, and I'd love to hear from you about what happens if you miss that court date. You know, the community, I'm sure, is familiar with failure to appear.
Sure.
And so what's the best way to deal with that, and
Sure.
what does that look like?
So first of all, if you do miss your court date for charges like that, those are criminal offenses, and a warrant will issue for your arrest. Now, typically, we give a week, 10 days grace period from the date that you miss. You know, some people, they just forget, and they show up the next day like, hey, I forgot. Well, that's great, because we haven't issued a warrant yet. But for the most part, you got another week or so to come in without a warrant being issued, and the same process is going to apply. We're going to get you in front of a judge for the same type of court date. It'll typically be a Tuesday morning at 8:30 that we get you in on. In a very, very, very small number of cases, we issue warrants immediately. Those aren't typically for the camping and open containers. Typically, they're more violence-related crimes. However, even if you have one of those crimes and you have a warrant with us, you can still come in. We won't arrest you. We'll get you in front of the judge on a Tuesday morning at 8:30 a.m., where your options will start over, just like I explained earlier, where you have the option of pleading not guilty and setting it for trial, of talking to the prosecutors, or of entering into a plea agreement or pleading guilty for community service hours. If you do not take advantage of that grace period, you do not come in, we do issue a warrant for your arrest. Now, if you're contacted by a police officer while you have that warrant, they will arrest you. They will take you to the Boulder County Jail. They will book you in. You will be fingerprinted. Bond, you will have a bond on your case. So if you have any money on your person, or if you have a credit card and you can post that bond, you'll be out immediately. As soon as you can post the bond, you'll be out. And you'll be given a future court date, which will be a Tuesday morning at 8:30 a.m. because that's when we handle those cases.
You're still probably going to go, before you pay that bond, you're going to get a ride over to the jail.
You will be booked in and fingerprinted before you pay that bond. Yes.
Right. It is not without some pain, even if
correct.
you.
And which creates an arrest record for you. If you are interested in preserving a clean record, you do not want to be arrested. However, if you do not have any money and you're unable to post bond, then you will go before a judge on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Those are the days that we go out to the jail to see our in-custody defendants who cannot post bond. So depending on the day that you are arrested, we will see you on the following Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 11:45 a.m. when our next court is in session. Depending on the charge that you have, you might only be looking at a day in jail or 2 days in jail. If you got a camping ticket and it's your first one, we're going to let you out as soon as we see you. However, if you get arrested on a Friday afternoon, we're not going to see you until Monday morning. So Monday morning, we're going to let you out on that camping charge that you got. However, had you come to court, you would have got community service. Or had you been arrested on, let's say, a Tuesday night instead of a Friday, then we would have let you out Wednesday.
And if you're arrested on a Friday night before Memorial Day, you may not see someone until
Wednesday. So almost a week later. So we always want people to come here to court. It's way easier to handle things with paperwork and with me smiling rather than with you being handcuffed out at the jail, because a lot of those corrections officers don't smile as much as I do. So come in and see me. Let's get your case handled. You have nothing to fear because we are not going to arrest you. We are not trying to put you in custody. Really what we want to do is handle your case without you going to jail. That's what's in the best interest of the community.
So if I understand you correctly, Jim, the best case scenario, let's say you forget, come in on the next Tuesday at 8:30, but it's okay to come in anytime to the municipal building here. We're off, 6th and Canyon.
We're at the Justice Center at 6th and Canyon. Yes, you can come in any business day, Monday through Friday, and we're open 8 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. You can come in at any of those times. If we have a judge available and a docket going on, we will get you into the courtroom right then. We don't always have a docket going on, or we don't always have a judge available to see you. However, we will do something to get you in on our next available court docket without you having to go to jail.
Yeah, I was going to ask, a failure to appear could be avoided by coming and having a good faith discussion with you about that I just missed the date and I'd rather reschedule. Is that a possibility?
We have many more creative ways to handle things when you are here in person versus when we are out at the jail. When we are out at the jail, all of our options, yours as the in-custody defendant and ours as the court, all of our options are limited out there. We have less options out there. The best thing to do is to come to court. You will not be arrested if you come to court.
And why don't we end with the phone number they can call you at, and what the benefit to calling is versus just showing up, if there is any.
First of all, the main number for our court, 303-441-1842. You can give that number a call anytime during business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30. A live person answers the phone. It's not a recording. You don't go through a phone tree. A live person answers the phone, and you can ask specific questions about your case. This is the charge that I have. Do I have other charges? Do I have a warrant out for my arrest? We can tell you a lot of those things and also assure you, hey, this is your next opportunity to get in front of the judge, or this is what's likely to happen if you were able to get in front of the judge. Basically reassure you that this is the time that you should come in where you will not be arrested, and we will handle your case in the best way for the community.
All right, fantastic. Thank you for your time, Jim.
Thank you.